The air was thick with the smell of salt and the promise of a routine day. The divers, seasoned professionals, prepared for their descent. But on this day, fate had a cruel twist in store. The date was, date not provided. The location, location not provided. And the tragedy that unfolded would forever scar the annals of industrial diving. These were men who lived on the edge, their work a dangerous dance with pressure and the unknown. This time, the ocean would not be denied. It waited, a patient predator, hidden beneath the surface. It would claim 4 souls this day. This is not just a story of an accident, it's a story of bravery and sacrifice. The divers were tasked with routine maintenance on a submerged pipeline. This was no ordinary task. It required precision, skill, and a deep understanding of the underwater environment. Their mission was simple: inspect the pipeline for damage, ensure its integrity, and prevent a potential catastrophe. Every inch of the pipeline had to be scrutinized, every joint and seam examined. They descended into the murky depths, their dive lights cutting through the gloom. The water was cold and unwelcoming, a stark contrast to the world above. The pipeline snaked below them, a dark and silent serpent. It stretched endlessly, disappearing into the underwater horizon. It promised a path, a guide through the underwater labyrinth. The divers followed it, trusting it to lead them to their destination. But it also held a hidden danger, a silent threat that lurked beneath its innocuous exterior. The pipeline was old, and its age brought with it a host of potential problems. The divers, unaware of the peril that awaited them, continued their inspection. They were focused, their minds on the task at hand, oblivious to the lurking danger. The pressure increased with every foot of depth, a physical manifestation of the weight of the ocean above. It was a constant reminder of the environment they were in. They moved with the grace of aquatic creatures, their movements fluid and effortless. Years of training had honed their skills, making them one with the water. But the pipeline beckoned, its presence a constant reminder of the forces at play. It was both a guide and a challenge, a test of their skills and endurance. Unbeknownst to the divers, a valve in the pipeline had malfunctioned, setting off a chain of events that would soon spiral out of control. It was a small failure, a mechanical hiccup in a system designed for resilience and reliability, but even the smallest flaw can have dire consequences. This seemingly minor issue quickly escalated, and its consequences would be nothing short of catastrophic. The valve's failure created a powerful suction, a vortex that reached out from the depths of the pipeline, pulling everything in its path. The divers, caught in its grip, were pulled towards the gaping maw of the pipe, their training and experience rendered useless against the force of the current. Their world, once a place of calm and control, was transformed into a maelstrom of churning water and disorientation, a nightmare unfolding in slow motion. The current was relentless, dragging them towards the pipe with increasing force, their struggles growing more desperate with each passing second. One by one they were sucked into the pipe, their cries for help swallowed by the roar of the water, their fate sealed by the unforgiving machinery. The ocean, indifferent to their plight, closed over the entrance, swallowing them whole, leaving no trace of the chaos that had just unfolded. Industrial diving is not for the faint of heart. It is a profession that demands not only physical strength but also mental fortitude and an unwavering resolve. It demands a unique breed of individual, physically fit, mentally resilient, and willing to confront danger head-on. These divers undergo rigorous training to prepare for the challenges they will face underwater. These are the unsung heroes of the underwater world, the men and women who work tirelessly to maintain the infrastructure that powers our modern lives. From repairing pipelines to inspecting underwater structures, their work is crucial. They descend into the depths, facing crushing pressures, treacherous currents, and the ever-present risk of equipment failure. Each dive is a test of their skills and their courage. They work in darkness, their only solace the faint glow of their dive lights and the comforting hiss of their breathing apparatus. The isolation and the unknown add to the psychological strain. They are pioneers of a sort, exploring the hidden frontiers of our planet. Their work often takes them to places few have ever seen, revealing the mysteries of the underwater world. But their courage comes at a price. The dangers they face are real, and the risks are ever present. Water intake pipes, in particular, pose a significant threat to divers. These structures can create powerful suction forces that are difficult to escape. The powerful currents they generate can easily overwhelm even the most experienced diver. It is a constant battle against the elements, where every decision can mean the difference between life and death. The tragic incident of "date not provided" is not an isolated one. The history of industrial diving is replete with similar accidents, grim reminders of the unforgiving nature of this profession. Time and again, divers have lost their lives to the relentless pull of water intake pipes. In unspecified year, a group of divers off the coast of unspecified location met a similar fate. Their deaths sent shockwaves through the industry, prompting calls for increased safety measures. But as the years passed, the memory faded, and the lessons learned were seemingly forgotten. Then, in another unspecified year, tragedy struck again in the Gulf of unspecified location. Two divers conducting routine maintenance on an oil rig were pulled into a pipe and killed. Water intake systems are essential components of many industrial operations. They are the hidden arteries of our modern world, drawing in vast quantities of water to support a wide range of processes. But these submerged structures, often hidden beneath the surface, pose a significant threat to divers. The danger lies in the powerful currents they generate. To ensure a steady flow of water, intake pipes are typically designed with large openings and operate under a vacuum. This creates a powerful suction effect that can extend a significant distance from the pipe's mouth. Divers, working in close proximity to these intakes, are at risk of being pulled in by the current. The force of the suction is often underestimated. In the aftermath of any tragedy, there is a natural human instinct to seek answers. In the case of diving accidents involving water intake pipes, the answers often lie in a cascade of errors. One common factor is a failure to adequately assess the risks. Too often, the focus is on the task at hand, with insufficient attention paid to the potential hazards of the environment. Poor communication is another contributing factor. A lack of clear and concise communication between surface support teams and divers can have deadly consequences. Inadequate training and a lack of experience can also play a role. Finally, there is often a failure to learn from past mistakes. The tragic loss of 4 divers sent shockwaves through the industry. The investigation that followed was exhaustive, seeking to uncover not just the immediate cause of the accident, but also the systemic failures that contributed to it. The findings were sobering. The valve malfunction, the root cause of the tragedy, was attributed to a lack of proper maintenance. The investigation also revealed shortcomings in communication protocols, risk assessment procedures, and safety training. The industry vowed to do better. New regulations were enacted, mandating stricter safety protocols for diving operations near water intake pipes. Training programs were revamped, emphasizing risk awareness, emergency procedures, and the importance of clear communication. The tragedy served as a catalyst for change. The ocean is a fickle mistress. Those who choose to work beneath her surface do so knowing the risks. They are the modern-day explorers, the unsung heroes who keep our world running. But their courage should not be mistaken for recklessness. The tragedy of "date not provided" serves as a stark reminder of this delicate balance. We remember the 4 divers who lost their lives that day, not just as victims of a tragic accident, but as skilled professionals. We honor their memory by striving to make the industry safer, by learning from past mistakes. Let their story serve as a beacon, guiding us towards a future where such tragedies are a thing of the past.